Hello.
Hello.
Morning, everyone.
Hello.
Give people a couple more minutes to join.
Can you throw the link to the doc in the chat, please?
Of course.
Thank you.
I see we've got Andrea here. Perfect for talking about the events SIG. Awesome. Is Tracy here yet? She's got agenda item number 1. But I don't see her.
I don't see her yet. I know she's online. We talked this morning.
Do another minute or two, and then I guess jump into topic number 2 if she doesn't.
Hey, folks.
Perfect. Hello, Tracy.
Hey, Dan.
All right, so let's jump in then. Everybody sign on in here at the top. And first agenda item is Tracy about the CDF end user plan.
Great. Yeah, I haven't dropped any links in. I don't know if you have them from last time, but yeah, I want folks to check out our end user plan. And so Dan, if you could go ahead and just link to that or bring it up. Or
The PDF?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So if folks haven't seen it, please check it out. We are working with the folks there on the current plan. And this quarter, there's a big focus on measuring DevOps. So at the moment, the end user, we're talking to various members from our end user council, and they're trying to share what they're doing. And we're trying to find a common way for people to kind of present what they're currently measuring. And we expect the focus will be a lot on, well, the starting point will be DORA metrics, but we're having some interesting conversations around that as well, like what other things should people factor in? How are they doing that? What is the tooling that's available to support that? So we do have, I don't have a calendar of events yet, but that is shaping up. And that will include kind of sync ups with various groups like the best practices group and interoperability group. So I'll share that when it's available. But one other potential discussion we might like to have around that is, and I know this is something Tracy Reagan raised, of talking about what metrics make sense, like going beyond DORA metrics, particularly in a cloud native environment where folks are releasing very, very frequently. What kind of things would they need to measure in that way? So that might be something we can specifically set up a discussion for. I thought it might also be interesting to have that potentially at the TOC meeting. So this could be a good place to just sort of learn folks who are building the tooling, what they're seeing in terms of measuring DevOps success in a cloud native type way.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll leave it there, but I'll share the calendar of events for the first quarter. And yeah, if there's interest in having a discussion like that at this TOC meeting, let me know and we can plan that and give people a heads up.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great conversation topic. I'll reminder for you in here to add the calendar link.
And what's the plan to reach out to end users that are outside of the current membership to get their feedback on this?
Yep. So at the moment, we're kind of going through our end users, re-engaging existing ones, and we're also going through kind of our ambassadors. So they're sending some our way. I think we will ramp up reaching beyond that, but probably not in the short term. I think just once we've kind of established a cadence and something like the outcomes for this quarter, then we'll be sending those round to folks to have a look at the tangible output, and we're hoping that will be a nice way for people to get involved. Like they want to be able to share or contribute to those kinds of stories. And also we do have like from our last CDCon, the folks who then sort of signed up to our newsletter and our mailing list tend to be from a lot of end user companies. So just kind of sharing the work of that group through that will basically kind of inbound marketing on that.
Got it. Thanks.
But yeah, tell your friends.
All right, any other questions on that one? Or I'll jump over to the Events SIG discussion. All right, let me switch which tab I'm presenting. Zoom is. Yeah. All right. Jumping in here. Andrea, you're on the call, right?
I am, yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to talk through this? I can switch to the view here.
Yeah. Yeah. So Emil put together the PR. It's mainly we put together an overview about what the CDF Event SIG will try to accomplish. So what is the purpose and what is the outcome that we are trying to achieve? I think this is very similar to what we discussed in the last TOC meeting. We included everyone that is collaborating with the current work stream as members. And we proposed Emil and myself as co-chairs. And we still lack a sponsor from the TOC. So we were hoping that's something we could discuss maybe in this meeting today, if there is anyone who would be interested in sponsoring the group. And yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, let's just read through this. See if anybody has any questions, and then yeah, I can basically take that call for a sponsor and call for a vote to the talk list, I guess, at the same time. If that works for people, let's just see. This is the, oops, wrong button. Yeah, so this is the overall proposal here. Does anybody have any questions on the call about this?
I mean, I can read through if you would like to give more details.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty short and self-explanatory, so I don't know we need to read through it line by line unless people have any questions about the scope or anything. You know, I'm particularly excited about this because I think it ties really well to the theme of observability and measurement of all the DORA metrics Tracy just talked about. If we have common event schemas and ways to emit events and ways to receive events across CI/CD systems, then we can start to build common tooling that measures things based on those events and can get us to those higher level productivity things like the DORA metrics. That's what I'm most interested in this stuff for. Are there other things people are thinking about using metrics like this for?
I'm kind of interested in it because of my interest in having more of a declarative CD system that we really can, you know, somebody could automatically create a pipeline based on events just by passing a list of the events that they want it to execute.
Well, it also gives the flexibility to take different routes based on the metrics that are coming in, as well as you know, last time, you know, this last deployment or this last build had a high security scan, you know, high security vulnerability. Now we need to have it take a different route and maybe pass it through some more events around security scanning before it gets out to production. You know, it just gives a lot more flexibility of what we get to do in the pipeline.
Yes, indeed. And also when you go across different platforms, if you have like a common dictionary for events, it's easier to create tools that give you an overall visibility on your workflow where you can see what is going on across platforms.
And if you noticed on the members, I think I don't know if, because I don't know all of the members here, but I know most of them. We really need to cross-pollinate with the Tecton catalog.
Mm-hmm. Andrea knows quite a bit about Tecton in the catalog. So
good. Okay.
Is anybody else from Tecton interested in this, Andrea? I know you've done almost all of the events work there, though, the cloud event stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been driving this mostly, but I know others are interested. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I guess the top two things I'm excited about here are kind of the productivity measurements and then auditability, which I see you mentioned here too, tracing, auditing, you know, being able to store these events somewhere and dig back through them later to figure out exactly what happened, who did what, where the build went, what went into the build, all those cool things. Just being able to point, you know, your system at a sync just to log all of that stuff so you can dig through it later if you need to. Cool. Any questions here? I see we've got an Armory person on the list too, and Isaac's on the call. Are you the right contact for Spinnaker stuff here? Isaac, are you excited about this?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I think
Awesome.
when I look at what just kind of the industry as a whole, it's like everyone's just kind of grabbing pieces of certain projects. All of our projects have a lot of kind of overlap or do some of the similar things, maybe not exactly the same, and fit different needs. And they want to kind of mix and match. And the way to make that happen is through eventing. There's just kind of like no better way to do it than through that. So, and Cameron there is definitely the right person on the team to kind of help with that and usher that through from the Spinnaker and Armory perspective. I think that'll be a very engaged person on that team.
Cool.
Worth mentioning that there will, of course, obviously need to be some MLOps events. So we should probably try and get those standardized in there as well.
That's a great idea.
And do you have, so obviously as part of this, once you get it created, you'll get a repo and everything like that, but is there content in the existing interoperability repo you'd like to move over? Can we link to that in here just so people can get a look at what's been going on so far?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, because you're not really starting from scratch. It's awesome. Cool.
We can add the link in the PR. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think the shape and everything on this is correct, so we can take this to an email to formalize it.
We still need a TOC sponsor, right?
Yeah. So I was going to call for a vote and a sponsor in that same email.
Okay.
Unless somebody wants to step up here. Cough, Isaac. Cough. Maybe.
Isaac, come on, Isaac, you could do it. What does it mean to be a sponsor? Does it require?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that question.
Not a ton. We can. I'll link to that. We don't need to put you on the spot and make you agree to it here.
Yeah, link to that. Let me
offline.
read it, and then you guys can put me on the spot the next time we meet.
All right. Cool.
or put me on the spot over Slack.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's probably a bit less work at this in the beginning in this case, because when you form a new SIG, you have to define the charter and find chairs and everything. And because we are moving from a work stream into a SIG, a lot of that work has been done already. So we already have the charter proposed and the members and the co-chair proposed. So hopefully that makes it a bit smoother for the start.
Cool. All right, so the next one is newsletter updates. So we have a deadline of February 23rd for this month's newsletter updates. Those will go out in the beginning of March. We've got the doc linked in here, and I'll follow up right after this with an email reminding all the projects to start adding their stuff. And we still have a couple weeks, so take your time and add project updates to the newsletter as you go. All right, after that, GSOC, whose agenda item is that one? Tracy or Tara, I'm guessing.
Sorry, muted. Yeah, quick one on the newsletter. We'll have the this month's newsletter is going out this week, and then we'll start collecting updates for the next one in early March. On GSOC, Jackie asked me to just stick this in there as a reminder that we are doing a call for mentors, so we can start getting projects organized in preparation for the GSOC. And I think there's a blog post that had been shared earlier, so this was just putting it back front of mind for folks.
Who will be the GSOC org admin for the CDF org?
So I believe it is Tara Hernandez with support from Jackie.
Okay, awesome.
And
Good. I've spoken with you about this, Tracy, but I think that the Jenkins project should be under the CDF umbrella for GSOC this year. So I will contact Tara.
Yeah, and just as some of background, I think there has been a conversation around that, and all we have to do is when we put in the application, we'll put in a note to say, hey, this includes Jenkins, so please take into account the history on the slots they've had when doing the slot allocation, so that but Tara and Dan did sync with the Google folks doing this, and they said that's totally fine.
Awesome.
And there are, go ahead, Dan.
Sorry, yeah, I was just going to follow up on that. The GSOC team said to just make that note in there that we want to include the Jenkins stuff, so we get to take advantage of the Jenkins reputation in here, and then it'll be up to whoever the org admin is to split things up after that. And once it goes in, just ping me and Tara one more time, and we can just follow up one more time to make sure that they extra look through the notes and don't forget. Cool. So go ahead,
when's
Steve.
the deadline for mentors to reach out?
Sorry, I don't have the dates. I think Tara had said sometime in February.
February 19th is the application deadline.
Yeah.
So, but we are going as one from CD Foundation, right? So when do you intend to collect all the projects within CDF to send the details?
Yeah, ideally by February 19th. We've got the projects who want to participate, and they've identified projects and they've got mentors.
Yeah, so there's a Git repo out there under the CD Foundation called SOC, where the project ideas, the mentors are being collected.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. Thank you.
And there's
a
just
link handy. Could you drop that in here, Steve?
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's 3 pull requests. We've done a couple, and Jenkins did one for their update as well. There's the link to the repo in the chat.
Sorry, Zoom is getting increasingly unhappy with me when I try to switch tabs to find these things while I'm sharing. All right. Any other questions on GSOC before we move on to the last one? Okay, Ortelius, easy CLA.
Yeah, so I put this one out there. We've been trying to get easy CLA set up for Ortelius, and I've submitted several issues on the Linux Foundation side about getting our project added, but I've never gotten a response back, and I wasn't sure if that's the right way to get this sorted out.
Yeah.
Where did you submit the actual issues? You say like
when you go under easy CLA, you know, under the tools, it says if your project's not listed here, open an issue in Jira, and you know, it takes you through walks you through a form to do that. And I get the reply back that everything has been submitted, but no response from the Linux Foundation side.
Yes, maybe if you drop that to myself and Gail, we can chase that up internally.
Okay.
And Dan, what is the status of Tecton's use of easy CLA? Is that all?
Yeah, it's got onboarded sometime last year. I think we're still early in the process, so there was some hand holding. It's probably changed a bit since then. So I don't know how much our experience would carry over. I think they've tried to automate it a little bit more, which is what you're running into, Steve.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, once you get onboarded, it should be fine. I don't remember the exact stuff in our charter, but I think we do leave it up to projects to decide whether or not to use the CLA. Again, Tecton does. I think Spinnaker and the Jenkinses don't. Is that correct, Kara? You might know.
I don't know if we're using the easy CLA. I can check that for you.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Spinnaker is not. Do you know about that, Isaac?
I don't think it is.
So it is up to you in the Ortelius community to decide.
Yeah, we're early on, so we don't have a huge number of CLAs that we have to go and like recollect or anything like that. So that's why I was trying to get ahead of this and get it done early so we can get everybody on a single platform.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, just let us know if you run into any more trouble.
All right, I'll shoot Gail and Tracy an email about this.
And actually, in that vein, it might be worth giving a little update on the AlifX set of tools. I don't know if folks are familiar with that. Then I just dropped a link in the chat. You can bring that up and I'll just give a quick overview.
Okay.
So AlifX is the new name for a suite of tools provided by the Linux Foundation. And some of these have been around for a while, like particularly the crowdfunding. We know Jenkins has used that in the past. It was called Community Bridge, but this also includes EasyCLA and kind of the evolution of where things like DevStats are headed. So one of the key ones projects might want to check out is the Insights. So if you go ahead and click on Insights, and if you scroll down, so this is kind of like a open data about projects. And then there's a bit right at the bottom where you can click Explore Insights. A bit further.
There we go.
Yep. And then you should get, if you go ahead and click on that, it will take you to a place where you can look up specific projects.
So just, should I find the CDF one? Here we go. Go to projects.
Oh, your screen is not updating. I don't know if you've clicked on.
Oh, whoops. It opened me in a new tab. I see. Come back. Yeah, so I found the CDF tab.
Yeah, so you've got CDF, and then we haven't really kind of worked through and updated these, but the Linux Foundation team has been doing a bunch of things for us. So pick one and click on it, and then you'll see you get a lot of a wealth of information there about the contributors and the stuff about pull requests. And then there's integrations for things like Jira. You can also integrate your build system, which has support for Jenkins, and a few others.
GitHub issues, cool.
So some of the things have been defaulted. We haven't kind of formally gone through and done a review with each community, but we're planning to as the tooling matures. Besides Insights, there's also a security section, which features kind of integrated sneak security scanning. So that's also made available free for projects, and it's kind of opt-in. So you can choose whether to enable that and then share your results with the wider community.
Nice. So is the stats one for Insights kind of like an evolution of the DevStats page that we've had up for a while?
That's right. So we'll
same data set underneath.
Yeah, DevStats will keep going as we kind of transition, but then this will be the new kind of part of the dashboard, like a project dashboard, so folks can help. And the general idea is we want to help you build your projects and get good insights into that. And so we're just kind of making that tooling available. So yeah, so there's things on security. There's also like ability to kind of host meetups functionality. There is the EasyCLA. There's the kind of GSOC on demand, so mentoring. Linux Foundation is running a set of webinars on these things, so if folks want further details. And as I mentioned, as things kind of mature and we kind of get a better feel for them, we'll be working closer with the communities to make sure their sites are set up correctly, or we link it from the main CDF page and things like that. But in the short term, if you have specific requests like EasyCLA for Ortelius, we'll just reach out to us and we'll help connect or find you the people you can work with.
So on these signups, I was just looking at the security sign up. When it talks about project name, is that going to be the Ortelius project or the CDF as a project?
So it will be Ortelius.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it could probably be configured to be both, but for security, we'll probably do it at the project level.
Okay. I wasn't sure how granular these some of these are like Easy CLA, you have to associate it to the CDF, and then once you get to the CDF, then Ortelius is a subcategory of the CDF. So it's a little, depending on which one you're working with.
Yeah, and I think as far as I know, that you should be able to do Ortelius at the top level there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay,
Cool.
so yeah, just have a play around, and I can get the link to the webinars, and maybe we can have a regular update of this talk as things start to be adopted by various groups, and just keep answering questions, or even bring some of the folks along to who are developing it to answer your questions.
Awesome. That's much better, fancier looking, I guess, than the DevStats dashboard. So nice job. Awesome. Any other topics today, or I guess we get half an hour back? Okay, thanks everyone. I'll send out the vote shortly for the Event SIG. Bye.
Hey,
Bye.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, bye.